That's right. You see this shark right here? The one that's staring out the window who turns to look at a certain detective and smiles. I animated that in like 5 days. I had the honor of working alongside so many talented people for RiKU'S The World Outside music video, dedicated to Gura for her graduation. I'm gonna make this quick, as it is a very short animation. I wanted to pick a scene that was very heartfelt and emotionally impactful, so I ended up picking this one. These are the storyboards drawn by the very talented Seldine. Please go check their stuff out. It's awesome. Initially, I only planned to draw these out and hand them over to someone to rig in Live 2D, but I kinda wanted to go all out, so I ended up animating it traditionally by myself. I drew the line art of the main 3 frames I was provided with a storyboard, and then I proceeded to do the in-betweens. Instead of spending so much time eyeballing all the references I have of Gura to make things look accurate, I thought it'd be a good idea to just animate it in 3D so I have a better, more accurate reference, as well as just make a good reference for how I should time the animation. It's not meant to look necessarily good, but just to give me a better idea of what I want. Next, I proceeded with the line art for each frame. I only ended up doing this amount of frames because I knew that if I did more, I probably wouldn't have had enough time to finish this before the deadline. It was either make more frames but only do the flat coloring, which probably would have looked much worse and less emotionally impactful, or do less frames but make them way more detailed and also making them more emotionally impactful. As much as I wanted to do more frames, I think I made the right choice. I did 1 frame with completed lighting and everything so I could have a better idea of what my final vision was. Then I started coloring the rest of the frames according to that reference. I tried my best to make the lighting a bit dramatic, but I also wanted to convey the 3D form of everything through that. At the end, I added some additional frames for Gura's smile, you know, the movement with the head and the hair, in order to give like more life to the animation, and I do think it did overall. I also added some frames for her tears just to give everything more motion. The background is something I coordinated with Lou, who animated Ame's scene in the middle of mine. They did an awesome job, and I honestly couldn't have done this without them. They've also made some awesome stuff, so please check them out. The sandy background is just a simple 3 frames of a sandy area that loop over and over again. I remember this was like one of the last things I did, and it was done very quickly so I could submit it in time, and so I could get some much needed sleep. I animated all of this in Clip Studio, and something that happened was when I animated the one in Blender, for the reference, it was allegedly at 24 frames per second, but so was the one on CSP, but somehow they didn't line up with the timing, so what I had to do was just go ahead and finish all the frames in CSP, and when I was done I exported everything, and then I just timed everything in Sony Vegas. So the final version doesn't have like a set frame rate like you would expect, like 24 or 30. I just timed everything based off vibes, you know? And that's pretty much it. Like I said, I wish I could have done more frames, but I'm still happy with the result. Like, I'm really glad I did this much and pushed myself more than ever. Like, this is the first massive community project I've worked on, so I'm extremely grateful to have been brought onto this project despite having like 2 followers on Twitter. I know I've always had potential, so this project is like the start for me to do more stuff. And again, I have to thank Seldine for the awesome storyboards. It wouldn't have looked this good without them. And I also want to thank everyone who put this together. I'm still in shock and disbelief that Myth got on the project, so if you haven't seen it, please check out the music video, and please check out all the remixes of the song on YouTube and Spotify and whatnot that everyone poured their heart and soul into. So yeah, expect more out of me in the future, and farewell to the shark.